Today I messed up by not listening to my son when he said he had something in his closet. And oh boy, did he ever have something in his closet. Today I messed up by not listening to my son. We moved into our new house October 2nd. As moving goes, it's obviously hectic. We did the majority of setup in the kids' room, but left the organization process to them. My son, soon to be 8, has been complaining for weeks about something being in his closet. Me, being the awesome, responsible parent I am, essentially told him to suck it up. My line of thinking was he was making up some sort of imaginary ghost/friend/sounds in order to bamboozle his way into my bed. Remember that girl from Signs? Asking for a glass of water? And the exhausted-looking parent that's me. Last night, he was relentless. He would not stop begging me to go into his room and look in his closet. He sleeps with his closet door open as there is a light in there. So, I finally gave in. And Lord, this poor boy. I found a massive dildo on the top shelf of his closet. That the previous tenant left behind. This must have just been staring him in the eye for weeks while trying to sleep. Too long. Didn't read. I scarred my son for life by not checking his closet, where I found a massive dildo. Edit, I like how this one story that's embellished with some jest makes me a shit parent. I messed up, but we all do. We went through this at our old residence. It was a solid 6 months of checking his room, under his bed, his closet every night. I made monster spray. I bought whatever he needed to be comfortable in his own room. We made really good progress. I didn't want to restart that phase. Also, it wasn't every night as he does occasionally still co-sleep with me, and I'm trying to break that habit as well. He'd also come and complain when I was half asleep. I'm homeschooling, working full-time, and essentially a single parent as my husband works out at camp. I'm running on fumes some days. If he ends up needing therapy for this one time, I promise to pay for it. Edit 2, I did apologize for not listening to him. And bought him a bunch of Push Pops, his absolute favorite candy. Edit 3, http://inger.com/gallery/lfq68j since y'all keeping asking. Here you go. Edit 4, for all those questioning my parenting skills, can y'all throw some shade at my husband? I wasn't the only one who my son complained to. Update, since removing said horrible, unspeakable, object. My son has resumed sleeping in his room with 0 complaints. He even sleeps with his door closed, which is a massive improvement/accomplishment for us. And to answers the never-ending question, did I keep it? The answer is no. I did move at my husband's drawer, then gave him some laundry to put away. He found it and told me to throw it out. So alas, it's out in the abyss of the garbage pile somewhere. Today I messed up by getting high and reporting my job to OSHA. This happened moments ago and the realization of what I did sobered me up real fast. I'll sum it up by saying that my job, a restaurant, has some electrical issues and has since I've been there. I saw 2 girls get shocked months apart by the same thing, spraying around outlets below and behind the line, as we are instructed to do, and getting shocked. The first one was a visible shock and she had a burn on her arm. The other one wasn't as severe. We've been shocked from the water in the sinks, from the ovens, and warmers. Thankfully these are less severe, but ones from the sink or our line hurt very bad. I've been shocked multiple times, but those aren't that bad, just annoying because it scares you and they don't hurt more than a few seconds if that. Usually if you're using degrease to clean. We have to spray behind a certain area in the store every day now, and it's annoying, yeah, but my biggest issue is that it's the wall that has a majority of our appliances plugged in because I'm terrified of getting shocked, especially because this is the wall that has 3 things that shock me lightly on the regular. Listen, I like my job a lot. This is my only issue with the place. I'm absolutely terrified because I phrased the form like a dumbass, and while it is vague enough to not directly pin me as the person who complained, I could have been way more discreet. I'm panicking for real, because I can't believe I just did that so nonchalantly. I'm so fucked. I know they legally can't mess with me too much, but socially, I'm done for if they find out, and they probably will. This is the worst high thing I've ever done. I'm so upset right now. Too long. Didn't read. Job has electrical issues, got high, reported job to OSHA, scared sober, regret. Edit, thank you guys. I really underestimated how powerful and dangerous electricity is in general. It's actually made me reflect on my health on a little, and I'm going to get checked out. Honestly, I had been treating the shocks as if they were static shocks and not a big deal, and I'm honestly pretty upset that I was so unbothered by it. I'm pretty freaked out thinking about how many times one of my coworkers could have been electrocuted but didn't somehow, and lots of them are teenagers. I'm gonna go farther and write a letter to my FD and drop it in their mailbox tomorrow. So far, I haven't heard anything, but if they respond as fast as some of you guys say they have, I might see something tomorrow. I'll keep everyone updated. Today I messed up by faking an Australian accent. To preface, I'm Canadian. I can do a really, really good Australian accent though, as a lot of people I work with happen to be Australian, and I basically spent all of quarantine perfecting it. I go to this gym in town, have been for a bit over a year. It's the kind with yelling, grunting muscle men and slamming weights. It's not uncommon for people to hype one another up and yell in encouragement. I don't know what came over me that day, but one workout I decided to throw on an Australian accent to whatever stranger I spoke to next, to see if I could pull it off convincingly. Sure enough, someone asked me to spot them on bench. I agree and go full bogan mode when I'm talking to this guy. I yell really loud in accent when he's on his last rep and chat with him a bit after. Turns out, he was a really solid dude and wanted to exchange numbers. Fast forwards like a month to now. I am his Australian friend that he has introduced a couple of his other friends to. We lift together twice a week and even got lunch once. I am too far past the point that I can come out and say I'm not actually Aussie, and if I do I think he'll take it as if I lied to him. Every encounter is more stressful because if I slip up then I'll expose myself. Too long. Didn't read. Faked an Australian accent and became friends with a gym dude. The ruse has gone on too long now, and I think it's too late to tell him I'm not.